motion soap is on thriving. And what does it mean to thrive? In common terms, it means to develop well or grow vigorously like a dog is, or to flourish. It's an evaluation of one's condition and concluding that you're doing well. This is going to mean different things for different people. For instance, if I am meeting goals that I've set and improving other people's lives in a consistent way, for me, that's thriving. Not just simply going through the motions, but trying to do better, actually accomplishing some goals that I've set. It's an upward trend, growth that is always moving forward, is always moving upward, and having an appreciation, new beginning along the way. Are you truly thriving, or are you faking it till you make it? A lot of us try to do that, put on a happy face, just fake it. Or do you feel like this? Or like this? Like this? Or more like this? If you look at the plants, they naturally want to grow towards the light of the sun in order to reach for it. And that's just what they naturally want to do. That's what we should try to do too. And that may be through finding some new friends, getting rid of some friends that are not so good for us, that are maybe holding us back, holding us down, being a discouragement to us. It could be picking up a hobby, like soap making for me, maybe for you too. If you haven't tried it, then you can't know. I'm going to be using Brambleberries, Clover, and Aloe. It's green, herby, but fresh scent. Let's get melting and molding and see what it looks like to thrive in life. And we're going to do it through the lens of soap. And we'll use the little plants as our inspiration. Okay, let's get started with some soil. And I've got some clear melt and pour glycerin in here. And I've also got some goat's milk and shea, some brown oxide, and I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the brambleberry, clover, and aloe, since we're going for an herbal type scent. I'm going to put some down in the bottom first. I'm going to add some dandelion powder. It's from the dandelion root. Alright, let's get that mixed in. I'm going to put a little bit of coffee in. Okay, let's go ahead and put some down. Then we'll put some little seeds in. Spray it. And I've got some little hot process seeds. We're going to sprinkle the seeds on the good soil. I rounded these seeds by cutting them into small pieces and then rubbing them in between pieces of paper towel. Alright, what do we find after we find the seeds? In good soil, we have roots. Some of these I'm going to lay on top. Some of them I'm going to mix in with our soil. And some of these are glycerin, some of them are hot process. And now we've got some new growth, some twigs coming up out of the soil from the seeds and the roots. And carefully go ahead and place it in there, right down the middle. I said right down the middle. I'm going to hold that in place for a minute. Then we'll go on to the next layer. Now that we have our soil, our seeds, and our roots, we added our branches that are coming up, and we have some new growth here. When you're thinking about thriving and ways that you can learn to thrive, you start out small, like these little tendrils, new growth, new friends, new place that you haven't been, something like that, a goal that you'd like to meet. Start out small. That's how all growth starts, is small. But then you become bolder, and maybe the growth is more significant, more meaningful to you, more plentiful. Maybe striving for one thing and achieving something that you didn't even start out to achieve. That would be a nice surprise. Maybe even some little blooms. Maybe even some little blooms here and there. What do you need more of in your life in order to thrive? What do you need less of? Think in those terms. Think in terms of evaluating. How can I flourish? What can I do to bring some newness into my life? Let's see if we can pour some of this fresh air that we've got. Okay, here we are with our new growth, and some vigorous, some little tiny starts. And that's all it takes, is a tiny start. You gotta dive in and do it. You gotta decide what you want to do, and then dive in and do it and see what happens. Sometimes you're gonna succeed, and sometimes you're going to find that that's not what you were supposed to be doing, different direction. Anything honorable and upright is certainly worth a go. Let's add this very interesting thing I came up with. This is a foil roll, and I cut it in half to the length of the mold, and then I covered it in barbecue foil, which is sort of a non-stick foil. And so I'm going to use that to make an impression just a bit on top, and it's going to leave a half moon shape for our sunshine. Okay, so I'm going to push down a little bit. You know, we're going to have clouds. We're going to have times where we don't do what we ought to do, or we don't accomplish what we want to. But we have this life to live it, and to live it more abundantly. And so we must try. Not everything comes easy, and some of the things that come easy should come with a warning label, to be honest with you. Okay, let's take out the homemade embed for the sun. It should just pop right out. It should. And I kind of know that it's not going to be even, but that's okay because that way it'll maybe look more streaky, like sun's rays or something. Besides, if you did everything perfectly the first time you ever did it, what would be the point of experimenting, right? Okay, so here's the deep trench that we have for the sun. And so that's what's going to go in here. And so all of our little plants that are underneath are going to be reaching through the clouds and the swirls to the sun. Okay, do you see how the track that we made for the sun is kind of going at a diagonal? Well, I was trying to have it, you know, off center but even on this side, or on this end and this end. But I like how it sort of shifted though, because that way every bar of soap, the sun will be in a little bit different place. And so I kind of like that. Here's our thriving soap. It's been sitting, thinking about things. Let's take it out and see.